I'm Carlos Checa, I'm coming from Spain. This year we will race with Norton Manx. Joaquin Folk is a good friend of mine. He was not a rider in the past. I know very well his father, that is a gentleman driver in Formula One Classics. He did a few races and few in Spain local, and he's very enthusiastic in this kind of race, and already he did in the past many times.
This will be my 13th time here at the Revival. The first time was back in 2009. I think it's a very unique event where everybody's in a fantastic mood. It really shows how important it is to keep all this mentality of that not everything needs to be changed very quickly and to new things, but that all things can be really preserved through time. It's true that the Manx is a very nimble and easy to ride bike that makes Goodwood very enjoyable. It's an original bike, although several pieces have been rebuilt through the years in order to keep on riding it. The engine has been redone with original specs, but it's newer. Also the brakes. The bike has a lot of still original parts from 60 years ago. The long tank, because this bike had been used for long races like the Isle of Man, etc. Also other races in Spain.
I started riding at 13 years old, before cycling. But when I test the first bike, was amazing. It was a great emotion. And then at 14, 15, I started doing some race. 93, this was when I was 21, the first time in a World Championship in 1 to 5 class. Then 250, 500, MotoGP, Superbike, endurance, some races, and totally 20 years in the World Champion. Now we are in a world that a lot of technology is around us. And when you go back, you realize the simple it was, and at the same time the fun you get, no? Sometimes less is more, and I like that. And always is a balance between the sport, the challenge, and the technology. But every year, even in motorcycle, the technology takes some part of you. Then I think in the sport we should find some balance.
Well, I think historic motorbikes give this feedback to the rider, or you enjoy them a lot when you ride them because they're really truthful. No, there's no electronics, there's nothing that helps you ride better or that corrects you. Since the bike is not super powerful, just with regular oil changes and checking, all the tightness of the cables should be fine for probably 2 or 3 years. No, it depends on how much you use it. The key is to really be mindful when you're riding them, listen a lot to the bike.
Yeah, of course, always with the delicate riding that these old bikes you should have, but the performance with the old years, with the long time that bike was built is quite amazing.
Having him as a co-rider, I feel very lucky to have him on my side, and I think it will be a great weekend.
But our target here is just to enjoy the weekend, try to ride as good as possible, having fun and learning and smiling.
Bike looks good. This year we're running on sustainable fuels. No impact on the bike's performance, which is fantastic. Today, making sure that everything works fine. That also my co-rider Carlos gets used to the right foot change, which is not an easy thing.
The track is nice. I think I carry good speed. Of course, some points to improve a little bit, but looking forward, I feel well, safe, we enjoy. That's the target. And this is the good part of the Goodwood, no? The atmosphere, the people, the bikes, also the experience to race with a bike older than me, and it's quite amazing. From many years, still the spirit of racing is there, no, in these bikes, and yeah, it's I never imagined I can do this. Now I am in another stage that I try to enjoy, be safe. Of course, try to be competitive. This will be every time I do something, but in other approach.
Yeah, we had a fantastic qualifying. We did our fastest ever top speed, 122 miles an hour without a fairing, so that's a big advantage. Shows how strong the engine is this year. Carlos did a 1:33.2, so very respectable. He got faster and faster and faster, and I think we're starting to get used to the right foot gear change, something he's not really used to by the end of the session. We qualified 19th, we're pretty happy with that. We've been here several years with this bike, been developing it over a number of years. The way Goodwood works, we can only use it every other year. I'm very big on making sure that the riders are safe, all of them, but especially mine. I think having someone as good as Carlos riding for us and as comfortable and quick with the bike as Joaquin to start, he's a good runner too. I really want the guys to have a good time. It's kind of what Goodwood's really all about. And we're very, very much looking forward to our race today. The weather seems to be looking after us so far.
One bike's already broken down, I can see over there.
Oh no.
What is that, 27, I think it is?
Yes,
it's already,
yeah, we can see
whether
him
that's
pushing his
stopped on the
bike, yeah.
screen.
When we went out of the assembly area, it was raining a lot and the bike wasn't responding well. It was stuttering. Suddenly I had a big loss of power, an electrical problem or something within the fuel line that didn't work well. These things happen, they're very old bikes. Tried to restart it. The marshals were super kind to help me push it. I couldn't rejoin because the race was started. So I stayed there and had to watch it from the side. I feel sorry for Carlos and the team, but these things happen, and hopefully tomorrow we can make it up for it. I'm not worried. I'm sure the bike is not broken, so tomorrow we'll get another chance. It's what it is. Racing is like this. Just keep a positive attitude, and we'll have fun tomorrow for sure, with or without rain.
They all seem to get away cleanly, as you say. It is
putting the two races together that gives us the overall victory, and that is wonderful to see. Holding on.
Very, very good pace. The level is really high. A lot of people in the same time frame. The bike is really good. The weather is holding. We can ask for anything else.
3 laps to the end, I see the boot and some strange feeling. The boot is open, but it's a boot from 16 years old. I have 3 or 4 boots repaired. That one I use when I won the championship. Yeah, and I have 2 or 3 pairs, and one is still using, sometimes for show. And then, but slippery a lot, and I thought, oh, this cannot be only the boot. And I look, it was the oil, and I said, okay, maybe need to be attention. I tried to lean a little bit less, stay on less angle, and happy to finish because not easy. The weekend has been fantastic. We had a good ride today. Any bike you take, anything you do, if you're not used to, at the end, the tension, the position, if you want to do any sport at a certain level, you need to practice and get used to the machine. It's the story of the motorsport here and the culture and all together, no? And in a good ambient. But in these bikes, it's amazing. This bike is from '62. I not use never in my life a bike older than me, and it's running so well. I think we reach almost 200 km per hour. Well, I really like this moment, this atmosphere, and yeah, with Joaquin also is a really, really good friend that we already share good times. But yeah, at the end, when you are on the leather, on the helmet, and you start a race, the mentality is changing, no? And you wanna do well. For sure, if I would like to come back, of course, because it's a fantastic moment. Bring some friends that for sure they will love also, because this is also a place that is nice to share with people.
Compared to yesterday, we've had a fantastic second day. We're very happy with the fact that not only did the bike perform brilliantly, but both Joaquin and Carlos did exceptionally well. We had an excellent start. Obviously with the Le Mans start, It doesn't matter how much experience any of these guys have. So the fact that they were P10 right from the get-go, fantastic. By the time Joaquin had brought the bike in to swap to Carlos, he was down to 13th, but no big deal. We made all the way back up to almost 10th, but 11th overall. Often after the race has happened, they'll take into consideration people that have pitted outside of the pit window, any issues they've had with the bike, things like this. It won't necessarily show up until they've actually gone through all of the combined result. So we'll see, maybe we did get that P10, but when the bike came in, it was so fast that some of the oil didn't want to stay inside the engine. Now we always make a joke with these old bikes that when they leak a little bit of oil, that's how you know that they've got oil in them. This is a little bit more than we would like to see. A common issue with these, we already know a few people who also finished the race had the same issue. We're not too worried about it, but yes, it probably needs to go to Andy Savage, our engine supplier, for a little bit of a birthday. With everything going so well today, it kind of makes us think what might have been if we'd managed to have 2 days with the same level of performance. Shoulda, woulda, coulda, as they say. The bike came back mostly safely. Both the riders are safe, they've had a great time. They both enjoyed themselves very much. And as far as I'm concerned, that's all I could ever ask for. You know, we always like to do as much development as we can with the bikes. Often it's for performance, sometimes it's for reliability. If there's an issue that's raised itself, we actually think that a bit of rider interaction improvement is going to help. Any bike you would buy since probably the mid-70s will always have the gear change on the left. And certainly all of the people that are racing here, they're not used to riding bikes with right for gear change. We've always been worried about having to modify this very original frame. We think there's a way that we can do it, possibly with a kit that's available, but that also means that we need to do some testing. So that's one of the things we're organising at the moment. Well, over the years, I've been very fortunate to invite as many of my friends that haven't been to Goodwood before to come and see what it's all about. There's so much, you know, people come for the fashion, for the dress up, for all of the music and live stuff that's here nowadays. It's such an experience. Sometimes it's kind of nice to go back to the pure engineering of yesteryear.